I'm pretty sure of it, actually. Here we go. There you go. Here you go, kiddo. Watch a video.
In here. Bass keeps running and running and running and running and running and running.
Let me turn this into a commercial for something.
In this context, there's no disrespect, so when I bust my rhyme, you break your neck. We got 5 minutes for us to disconnect.
Y'all know I'm cool, right?
Intellect, the rhythm effect, lose the inhibition, follow your intuition, free your inner soul and break away from tradition. Cause when we be out, girl, it's fully be that. You wouldn't believe how we wild.
Okay. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. I'm not gonna make y'all watch the whole thing. Also, I can't see none of your faces. Y'all know I hate that, but I'm not gonna get on y'all about that. There's Jan. Thank you, Jan. Where's my husband? Jody, I can't see your face.
I done gave my disclaimer. I just got out of the shower. My hair's in a towel.
That's okay. I'll let you buy with it this time.
That's for everybody's benefit.
You're a gorgeous kitty. Okay, everybody. There's Karen. Huh? Oh, yeah, Jetty says his camera doesn't work. I don't know if that's true or not. We're going to jump right in the water because I'm recording this for newbies, and I have some really good tips to share. Last week or the week before, I'm not sure, we did some social media tips. If you have not watched that video yet, I encourage you to, because it was a really good, I felt like it was a really good Zoom that we did. I'm going to talk straight to our newbies right now. So if you have a newbie that has joined, even if they're a newbie and they're silver or they're gold or whatever, sometimes we have people who get to a certain rank and they're like, okay, I don't know how I got here and I don't know how to duplicate this. I don't know how to help other people get here. That's who I'm talking to tonight. Anybody who's new, who maybe has been in the business for a long time, but they're just ready to, kick it in gear. I have to tell you something that I've never said before, because I've never felt it before. That if I was going to pick a time to start my Plexus business, other than the time I picked before, because I started almost 9 years ago, and it has literally changed my family's lives, like completely, huge 180 about how we live our lives. If I was going to pick another time besides that, I would pick right now. Never seen the kind of momentum, and I think it's spiritual, to be honest with you. I think we had a breakthrough, and anyway, I won't go into all of that. Like I have felt this in my dreams and in my heart for a long time, and it's here now, and I'm excited about it. So I'm really excited for those of you who have joined with anticipation in your heart, and you're like, okay, I'm anticipating something. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make this thing go, but I just feel it in my spirit. This call is for you. What does it say? Oh, Plexus Healthy. Oh, the Health and Happiness Company. Ooh, that's cute. Where'd you get that? You have to tell me. Did you order it from somewhere? Okay. Tell us in the chat if you get a chance to. Okay. So enough hype or whatever that was that I just did. It's true. I'm not hyping things up. I feel that way. It's the first time I've felt that way since the day I started. The way this month ended, I had so many new points that I was like, when you're going, Plexus has been so incredibly generous to my family for so long that it shocked me that things just went shoom again, like in a quarantine, in a pandemic. Our businesses are just, I know some of you that are on here, it's like it just, right? It's really good. So I want to go over some social media stuff. I want to talk to you a little bit about consistency, keeping a social media presence. And I want to talk to you about balancing your social media presence. So if you add value on social media already, and you do, if you have a social media account and you've never even talked about Plexus or whatever, you're posting pictures of your children, maybe what you're doing on the regular basis, Maybe you're sharing some about the job that you've had. I don't know. But that stuff is considered sharing and adding value, and it's rewarded. This is the thing you have to remember. It's rewarded on social media platforms by, if you're kind of following what they're there for, like social purposes, they reward you by showing your stuff to more people. So when you're like, just the awards assembly, my son won this award, and lots of people are interacting and congratulations, and there's lots of this. Have you noticed that there are phrases like way to go or congratulations that literally become animated? Like you type it in and it'll give you a little X, like you could X out that you don't want it animated, but otherwise it's going to like spray balloons and confetti. I want you to have that as the image in your mind of what it's basically saying. Social media likey, right? They want you to be interactive with people. They want you to be rooting for people, okay? So when you see that kind of stuff going on in social media, those people, whoever they are, whether it's you or somebody else, they're getting rewarded by the fact that Facebook is going to actually show their content to more people. Every time they post and they get lots of interaction, Facebook thinks, okay, this person must have lots of friends. We should show it to all her friends, right? That's how it works. I didn't know that for the longest time. I didn't understand it. So if so far, if your Plexus presence has been or if your Facebook presence has looked like a Plexus presence, like if all you talk about and all you seem to be interested in is Plexus, blah, 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 eventually people are going to be like, I tried to think of this word earlier. They're going to DVR you. Do you know what that means? They're going to TiVo you. So do you know the function on your television when it first came out that you were able to record a show, and then you could, if you waited like 15 minutes, you could watch it without commercials? Wait like 15 minutes and then you can go, I'm going to fast forward. I'm not watching that. I'm ready to get to the rose ceremony, right? You're fast forwarding. Well, that's what people start, your friends, your Facebook friends start doing to you if all of the content that you're sharing looks like sales, discounts, graphics, incentives, getting you to do your business, getting you to do your business. So I will tell you that I posted on our team page just a little bit ago that a 30-day that actually I think must have been shared by Genevieve today. I know I got it out of a messenger chat because I didn't get to watch Genevieve's video today. And so I grabbed it, I saw it, and I was like, I love that. I think maybe Becky or maybe Jan, I'm not sure. One of you shared it. I grabbed it, I put it in the Butterfly team page, and it has a breakdown of the, like, how to kick your business off in 30 days, how to get it going. And it has ideas. It has a calendar and it has ideas for 30 days worth. Thank you, Linda. It was Linda. One of you girls that's in that chat. Sorry. So it was it's a rundown of 30 days worth of ideas of other things and Plexus things to post about on your social media so that you don't, if you're ever going to get me to believe that you ran out of ideas, I'm just going to call you out on that. I'm going to be like, well, then you probably shouldn't be on social media in general if you don't have ideas. Like, basically, if you don't use your phone enough. Now, I want to give you an example. When you're out and about running around, and if you're one of those people that it aggravates a person in your family that you're using your phone in the moment, do like I do. This is a big pointer. You're about to grab a big one from me. Here we go. Ready? Take the pictures. Wait until you're all by yourself. I mean, go to the bathroom if you need to. Do it later. Do it the next day. You took pictures at your son's softball game. Post it the next day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be spot on in the moment. In fact, I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to live in the moment and share about your moment later. Because there's something about a sunset. Okay, have you ever watched a sunset? A good friend of mine told me one time, I was so disgusted. I was watching this beautiful sunset, and all I could feel was disgust because I didn't have my camera. And he goes, sometimes things are just for you. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Probably right. I am one of those people that I can do a flyby or a drive-by. I'm really good at drive-by. I can take a picture and have it posted. 30 seconds have passed and I have not lost any time with all the quality people and around me. If you're one of those that gets sucked into social media and it becomes I don't know, a point of contention between you and someone that's in your life, I have some tips about that later I will get to, okay? Because it doesn't have to be that way. You can set boundaries around your social media and choose, because you're the boss of this, you can choose when you want to work your business. You can choose when you don't want to work your business. And I'm going to tell you right now, if any of your husbands were to call me and say, gosh, or your wives or your significant others, whatever, were to call me and say, my so-and-so, she spends all day long on Facebook because of Plexus, I would call you out. Not that your spouses are gonna. I'd be like, no, she don't. She may be on social media all day, but I can tell you right now, I can look at her social media and tell you she ain't working her Plexus business all day long. So if you got a spouse mad at you about your phone, there are some things on both sides that you need to work on. Your own boundaries, your own zoning out or numbing or whatever it is that you're doing on social media. You have to take responsibility for that. And then on the other hand, there are some tips that I'm going to give you in a minute about how to have a conversation with a spouse that leads somewhere that is good so that they can kind of understand what's going on. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay. Consistency is the first one. That's what we just covered. Consistent social media presence. If you're there for 2 days on social media and then you're ghosting for a week and then you come back in, you're on for 2 days and you're saying something that you're not, social media does not, you can do that, but social media does not reward you for doing that. They reward the consistent, somebody who's doing something a couple to 3 times a day, saying something, okay? By the way, it takes about 30 seconds to make a post unless it's a really long one. Long ones are fine, but it doesn't take a long time to be on social media to say something. In fact, if you could block out 10-minute windows, literally like in the carpool lane or whatever, if you could take just a short little thing and do 10 minutes worth of for 5 minutes, you're going to comment on some people's stuff. This is another thing that social media rewards. If you comment on a few people's things that, you know, get social media woke up for you, then you post, right? And then you come back and for 5 more minutes, you interact with those who are commenting on your post, whether it's about Plexus or not. That is what social media rewards. They want you interacting. You know, they would love to see you stuck to your phone 24/7 or whatever. But it doesn't have to be the stuck to your phone 24/7. It can look like you're there a lot. In fact, people say, you're probably so busy. People say that to me, you're probably so busy. I know you're probably so busy because I do kind of have a big social media presence, but I don't spend a lot of time on social media. I don't. I hardly spend any time on social media. I would much rather live. So I'm just tossing that out there. All right. How do you explain Plexus to people when they show interest? And how do you get them on board? Maybe talk, and I'm going to talk briefly about how you may experience. I'm just going to dive in. Okay. I wanted to share something that I learned a long time ago. When I'm out and about, now you can do this however you want to, but this is just the way I do this. When I'm out and about and I bump into people, like today I was at Ollie's. I ran into someone who used to use Plexus. I didn't talk to her about Plexus. And I never do. I hardly ever talk. If it's someone I know, I hardly ever talk to them about Plexus. If it's somebody that I don't have on social media and I've struck a conversation up with them and it was interesting, but it was not Plexus related, I leave it like that. I don't try to talk about Plexus in your everyday, and I'm not saying I don't ever, but generally speaking, I don't. I typically, if I think I should eventually talk to this person about plexus, because you'll kind of get a gut feeling, yeah, I should or I shouldn't. In those instances, I figure out a way to get them to add me on social media. And it's not as tricky as you might think. This is something I used to be good at before plexus, and I wasn't even doing it for a reason. It was just something because I'm a social person. So if I'm in Hobby Lobby, this is the example I always get. I'm always looking at people's baskets because I'm nosy, and I'm like, wonder what they're doing. Ooh, those are pretty flowers. I wonder if they're gonna put those in that planter. I wonder what they're gonna. So I'm liable to ask, and I'll be like, what are you doing? What is that? Where did you find that? Is that on sale? Whatever. And get the person talking. If they seem like they're talkative and that I didn't startle them by saying hello, basically, then I might say, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that project once it's finished. Are you on social media? Are you going to post pictures of it? I'd love to see your yard after you plant those plants. This is something I'm telling you, I'm giving you a trick, but it's not really intended to be a trick. This is just being social, something I've always done. And then I'll say, if they say, yeah, I probably will. I'll probably post pictures. Then I say, oh, here. I get my phone in Facebook on the search bar. So right here, I get right here. So if you pull up Facebook, it looks like this. But if you touch the magnifying glass, it pulls up that. Oops. And I say, I hand my phone to them. I know in COVID, you might not do this. You might not all the germs. I get it, whatever. But this is a pointer for some other time when there's not contagion. I hand my phone to them. Find yourself. I say, here, you find you. Oh, okay. So Sherry Sullivan, search. Oh, there I am. There. Sometimes they'll send themselves a friend request from my phone. Sometimes they hand it back to me. I send them a friend request. And then we finish having our conversation. Nothing is said about plexus. They have no idea what I do. Now, this part is for my own memory because I need this. I screen capture their name while we're standing there. They don't know I did it. I just know how to go, screen capture, so that I don't forget that I talked to them later that night, much later, 3 or 4 hours later, before I go to bed. I look through the pictures in my phone. Oh yeah, Sherry Sullivan. So I go into Messenger because she's accepted my friend request by now. And I say, hey, it was fun meeting you. I can't wait to see those pictures. Now, Facebook is going to reward me because I made a new friend and I messaged them in the same day. And they're going to say, oh yeah, fun to meet you too. It'll probably be a few days. We've got to get the mulch and the whatever. Okay. Great. Sounds good. Love it. Well, I'm going to put that person in my list of names. And what I'm going to use that for is I am going to start talking on that person's posts once a week on Mondays. I have a day where in the morning I just wake up and I go, okay, here's my list. I'm going to go down. I'm going to look. If they're not naturally in my algorithm news feed, I'm going to get them there. And how I get them there is I comment on their things. Hey, KK girl, what's up? And then it popped up. I was responding to a chat. I just realized in the video, this is going to sound great. That's going to sound crazy. So I'm going to comment, oh, I love your son's, bow tie, whatever. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that your daughter was a Girl Scout. Whatever. I'm going to comment. Oh, I love the flowers. They turned out so beautiful. Whatever. The more I talk to this person consistently, Facebook is going to say they are friends, and they're going to start showing me their stuff, and then they're going to start showing them my stuff. Over time, that develops a relationship, and they don't even know how it happened. Like their head is spinning like, I just met this girl in Hobby Lobby, and now I see her stuff all the time, and that's fine because I'm adding value by posting other things that I'm interested in. And then also I'm talking to sometimes about plexus and telling my story, all this stuff. Okay, I'm sharing that tip with you because I think it's super important. I'm going to actually go over here to the chat because there's lots of chat. I don't have any trouble with people accepting a friend request when I hand the phone to them. If I get the conversation warmed up enough, now not always, but if I get the conversation warmed up enough, and that's just something that comes natural to me, that might be something you want to work on if that's something you've had trouble with in the past. But if I get the conversation warmed up enough and hand my phone to them and they find themselves, here's another thing too. Once you've sent them a friend request, and I'm not certain about what I'm about to tell you, or look what Vicky said. She said, I used to do it that way, but then I take their phone and have them pull themselves up. I look for me on their phone. That's a great idea. And then accept the friend request. There you go. I like it. Whatever comes natural to you. The thing is, you have to screen capture their name. Otherwise, I'm telling you right now, if you think you're going to remember their name and how it's spelled, you have a better memory than me. Lots of times I get home and I think, I can't remember what their name was. And then they're in your friends list. There's probably a way to go find your most recent friends, but it just seems like it'd be easier just to screen capture it. So that being said, y'all hold your horses for just 1 second. For newbies, if you're just starting and you're on a team page and you're seeing all this information, you're going, like alpha lipoic acid and, what's in the active and will this help with this and why and all the explanations. And you may get yourself in a situation where you're like, okay, I don't know all the stuff. I don't know how to sell this stuff because I don't know what's in it. I don't know what it does. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a beautiful position to be in, because then you have the ability to go, girl, I don't know. Okay. When people say, when you are new and you're like, I want to get some friends, anybody want to do this challenge with me? I'm doing a challenge. Basically say, if you're new and you don't know all the stuff and you have muddied the water and you're worried, you're like, I don't know. I can't see all around me. It seems murky. Seems like I've jumped into something and there's a lot more information than I will ever care to organize, than I will ever care to memorize. Well, just know that you're in good company there. I did it all wrong in the beginning, although it needed to be done that way in the beginning. Somebody had to kind of bust the seal, if that makes sense. Somebody had to come in and go, okay, this stuff works and this is the reason why. But you're in a very unique position. If you don't know all that stuff and you have people asking you, you can play the whole, I don't know, but there's a 60-day money back guarantee. Do the challenge with me. Okay? Now, secret weapon. And if you're taking notes, I want you to write in red and underline it in bold and put stars, because I'm about to tell you a secret weapon. I have started doing this. Works every time. I haven't had this fail me yet. If I see somebody post something on their Facebook wall, or if I know something about someone through other ways that I know that our products or our compensation plan would benefit them, I private message them and just say this: hey, there's something that I want you to read. I'm going to tag you in it. Then I wait for them to respond. And when they respond, they say, okay, or all right, or they give me the thumbs up or whatever, I go invite them to the Beauty Inside and Out group. This has to be true, by the way. You can't make this up. You have to really have something you want to tag them in. But that group is so filled with good information that you can do keyword searches and pull up any video that Krista Deary has ever done in there. It's going to be filled with really good information. It's going to have a heart-to-heart connection. There's always going to be something in there for almost anybody, right? So if somebody's posting their daughter's eczema, this happens all the time. Look, it's worse and worse. And by the way, eczema seems to be its own ridiculous epidemic. Everybody seems to have somebody they know in their life closely related to them who has it. And doctors are like, I don't know, we'll just put you on a steroid. And then later in life, we'll keep you injected until it's ridiculous. So, hey, I have something. You don't have to go into, I saw this, I saw that. This is why I want to. I have something I want to tag you in. And they say, I have something I think you'll be interested in that I want to tag you in. Okay. Then you invite them to that group and send them at the same time the link to the group. If you don't know how to get the link to a group on your phone, I'm going to show you. Especially, you can't get a link to a group on your phone if it's a private, like secret, whatever you call it, private group. But like the Beauty Inside and Out group, it's one that you can invite people to. So if I'm on there on the wall, there's more than one way to do this. But okay, first of all, how you invite them is you click right here. You click invite, whoop, and it's going to pull up where you can search their name. And also at that same spot right there, it says copy link to group. Now I just copied it by touching that, okay? Now it's in my finger. I can go put it anywhere I want. So another way to get it is if you're here we go. If you're on the Beauty Inside and Out group and you didn't touch invite, you can go, and I don't know if everybody can do this or if this is just an admin thing. Whoa. Does that look like there's a red light shining out of my phone? My paranoia scale just went up. I'm just going to tell y'all. Who's filming me? My husband's laughing. I'm going to do that again. It's flashing, isn't it? When I look at it, I can't see it, just so you know. When I'm looking at it, I can't see it. Natalie is on here. Girl, we're going to be on this later. Now, Jetty is really laughing. Girl. Okay, we're going to look one more time. Y'all can see that. I'm toning it down. Taking it down a notch, y'all. I'm taking it down a notch. This is on film. I got it filmed. Oh, my husband's fixing to explain it to me. I hear the door opening. I want you to watch. No, it's okay. It's not hurting anything. It's just.
I just want to see if mine does it.
Oh, okay. Jetty's paranoid too.
No, I just want to.
Oh! Look at it. Look at it. You see that?
That's funny.
Now, when you're looking at it, it's not doing that. Oh, I'm holding back the cuss words right now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying. Whole string of them. Okay. Okay, I'll fix it later. Okay. All right, back to the topic, which I don't remember what it was. Oh, yes. Okay, so up in the corner, there's a little shield that looks like a little shield. You can click that, and I don't know if that has to be just an admin. You may just have to be an admin in the group to do that. But you can go down there, and if you're an admin in a group, or maybe anybody can do this, you can go to where it says share and has the little arrow that does like this. You can click that, and then copy the link that way. But the simplest way to copy the link is by clicking invite. Then you can actually type a person's name in there, hit invite, then copy the link to the group. Some of you know this and it's super basic. Some of you are like, I've never heard this before. Okay. Thank you. That's why it smells so good. My cat knocked over my jasmine essential oil and it went everywhere. It's another thing that's freaking me out. Okay. Once you have done this, I'm going to recap real quick. So the goal here, aside from being investigated by the FBI, which is clearly what's happening in my life right now. I mean, they're on to me. Obviously. And they're going to land a spaceship in my backyard. I know they are. They are. Now, aside from that, though, my eyes are watering. Okay. So, to get a person in a group, you say, I want to tag you in something first. Okay. You invite them and send them the link. Got it? You send them the link, and you say, just click right here so that I can tag you. Then they're in the group. Then you add their name to a list of people that you have added in the group in the notes in your phone. If you're on my team right now, if you are a level 1 that was sponsored by me, I already did this to you. Natalie, I did this to you. I got you in that group, suckered you in, right? Right? You've already had this joke played on you before and you fell for it. So then you're going to find something. It doesn't have to be during an event. This can be like tonight. This can be like tomorrow morning. Now that they're in the group, now once you've tagged them, let's say I'm going to use an eczema example because I love it when an example goes all the way to the end. You tag them in an example, and then you go back over and say, can you see it? Okay. Can you see it where I tagged you? Yeah. Okay. Casual conversation. You haven't gone into anything about the products. You're just carrying on the conversation. Okay. Then they're going to say yes or no or whatever, and you're going to follow up like that. If you start getting into a situation where you're like, I don't know the answer to that, you just say, I don't know for sure, but I can find out. And you can find out. You come into our butterfly page, and that's where you ask your questions. Or if I've sponsored you, you come to me, or maybe you ask your sponsor. All I'm teaching you to do right now is how to trick Facebook. That's all I'm teaching you how to do. How to understand moving around in Facebook in a way that makes it seem, follow my logic here. First of all, you're tricking Facebook into thinking that you're friends with people that you may not know very well. And social media will reward you for that. But it also sets you up in a position to where people come to you. If you are a person who has difficulty approaching people and saying, hey, I need you to do this. I want you to do this. Hey, I need you to add da-da-da-da. I'm giving you all of the subtle ways to go about letting them make their mind up for themselves. Getting them in a group where testimonies are being shared, information. I call it a drip group for a reason because I put testimonies in there almost every day. I do events in there once, sometimes twice a month. People, if you can put it on a vibration scale, that group is very high vibration. People get in there and they're like, oh, and then the next thing you know, you can say to a person who has, if you've only tagged them in one, you can say, you can use the search bar in there and you can type the word eczema and there will be more. You got to make sure that's right. There are more eczema testimonies, but make sure if you're sharing something about irritable bowel or something like that, make sure you're telling them the truth. Use the search bar. There are more examples in there. What you're going to do, you need 3 to 4 exchanges back and forth, going back and forth to get comfortable, get the person comfortable, and get yourself comfortable enough that you can start finally asking questions. Ultimately, you really want them asking you questions. Well, what did that person take? Do you know how much it was? Well, you can, if you don't know what the person took, no, not for sure, but let me find out. And then you find out. You don't have to know all. Here's the biggest lie that the joker of the universe will try to tell you is that you have to know all the answers before you can dive in. I fell for that for so long. I literally was months and months into my Plexus business before I said anything because I was scared. I wish I had said immediately, did you know that there are lives that would have been changed? Like, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Some of my best friends and maybe my sister would be diamond ambassadors with me right now. If I had started this thing off, I'm going to cry. Ugh. If I had just said, I'm taking a challenge. Does anybody want to do it with me? Because once I started knowing a lot about it, they felt intimidated. Does that make sense? They felt like they had to know a lot about it, or they felt like it was my thing. The biggest teams in Plexus approach it like, let's do this together. All these like sorority sisters, all of these girls that grew up together, working the business together and making a ton of money and going on exotic vacations together, and they're doing it by dumbing it down. I encourage you. I feel like the reason I had to smart it up for my business is because I felt like I wouldn't be taken seriously. And really, I'm a practical joker. I really don't deserve to be taken seriously in any shape, form. None. I really don't deserve to be taken seriously. And weirdly enough, I have that personality of all these people whose lives have been changed, and they could have been changed just as easily if I'd have said, y'all want to do a weight loss challenge with me? They're going to make you drink a lot of water. You may have to get out and walk some. I mean, seriously, right? But we can do this together. It'll be fun. I don't know what I'm doing. Claim ignorance. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's okay. But some of you actually, you need to ride that horse all the way to the market. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just stay in that place. You don't have to know it all. Add them to the Beauty Inside Out group. If you stumble upon a personality who needs to know everything, fork them over to me. I'm not telling you I can tell you everything. I can't answer every question, but I know a lot of answers to a lot of questions. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you get somebody asking you a question that you don't know, ask it to me. We'll do what we can. We're going to get some people. I'm just going to tell you, I've been having dreams about a lot of my friends getting really rich. Yes. Right there. Yes. Y'all are my friends. All right. I'm going to get back on my notes. Promise myself I'd stay on topic. Okay. I'm going to tell you how to talk to your significant other. Okay? I used to be in photography. Okay? I want you to walk through this with me. I used to be in photography, and I might be gone from a Friday to a Sunday, and my significant other wouldn't see me all weekend. And therefore, he doesn't have any chance to say, you're on your phone all the time. Because I'm out there bringing in the dough, working hard for the money, honey. If I had decided to switch my career and spent that whole weekend, Friday to Sunday, working my Plexus business with my butt sitting on the couch, and he can see me, and I'm working on my phone, I don't know how that breeds resentment, but it do. So you got to be smart. You got to work your business when you're working your business, and then you got to put it down other than that. And then once you have settled that in your mind, look, I'm not going to stay on the phone all day long. Once you have that all settled out for yourself, then you have to have what we're going to call a shareholders meeting. You're going to say, you're going to go to dinner one night with your significant other, and you're going to say, look, I have this on my heart. Please use your own words. I'm just telling you what I would say. I have this on my heart. I want to trade the 40-hour hard week for a shorter week that's easier. And it's going to be a little scrambled for a little while, because while you're watching a movie, a Netflix, I'm not talking about going to the movies here, but like in the evenings when we would normally watch Who Gets the Last Rose, I might also be answering questions because I'm doing everything I can to get this side hustle to be my main income. And I don't want you mad at me. I don't want us fighting. I want us to be loving each other. And I want you to be part of it even if you want to. But I don't want you to be resentful of me. I want you to be understanding that this is my goal. My heart is really to take some heat off of how much money you feel like you have to make to support our family. Everybody following me? Kittle says yes. Everybody say hi. Say hi, you Kittle. Did nobody feed you today? She's not usually this lovey. It's got to be something. I know. Did you break my essential oil? It was an accident. So the shareholder meeting might need to include your children too, because if you got a 5-year-old that likes to yank your dress, mama, right? Like, okay. Or you might even have a 15-year-old, right? That's like, the minute you get your phone out, they're like, oh, I'll show you another video. I'll show you something else. Oh, have you seen this? Oh, have you seen that? And you're like, God, I'm going to have to get an office, right? This is what it's like sometimes. I guess I need an office because it's not obvious because I'm sitting on my butt in the living room. It's not obvious that I'm working my business. So sometimes you have to involve the children, maybe a separate shareholder meeting. Look, I sat down with your dad and I said XYZ, and Mama really wants to take you on a vacation. I really want to earn an iPad, whatever the incentive might be, whatever has sparked your interest or would spark the interest. I want to do this for a better future, and then give a short explanation of what a better future is in your mind, because it's going to be different for everybody. You have to have some buy-in from the people who think that you should be paying attention to them all day long, right? And then you got to do it. I'm saying, like, when it's time that you're working, shareholder number one, which is the spouse, look, I'm going to go take 30 minutes. I'm going to post a post. I'm going to answer 3 messages, and then I'm going to be back in here. It's going to be the amount of time that it take me to take a shower and dry my hair. Can you hold the kiddo down for 30 minutes for me so I can go make us some money? Okay. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Okay, great. It'd be so helpful for me. So you are leading the conversation. You are leading the way, because you're not doing this retroactively. You're not coming back and going, God, quit being so pissy. Okay? It's not that. You're leading the way. There's something about it. Like, nobody taught me this. Jetty and I learned this the arm wrestling way. We learned how to, we had a few things where it's like, make your own sandwich. Okay. It looked a little bit like that. That's not the way you want to have a relationship. It's not really that. It's just that people don't understand. And especially if you spend time on social media that's not that, and they start blaming it and resenting. You understand? Like, it's confusing to me when you're really doing your business and when you're really doing something else. Because I do a lot, especially in the beginning, I did a lot of something else. Just playing around on my phone, exploring all the different avenues of social media, answering questions, taking quizzes, all the things, right? All the fun things. And I don't do that during dinner time. I don't do any of this. The only time that you'll ever catch me out doing stuff like that on my phone is if it's the very end of the month and I have people pressing for a goal and they are needing my help. Other than that, I don't sit on my phone at dinner, and my husband will testify to that. I don't sit on my phone. We might both be looking at our phone for a minute for something, for whatever reason. He might pick his phone up. He might be on the phone or something like that. I might pick mine up. But I don't sit there all through dinner. And the reason I don't is because there have to be balance. There has to be balance, and there have to be boundaries. If you're brand new and you don't have one of the graphics apps that I talked about last week on your phone, even if you're not new, even if you've been around for years and years, I encourage you to get one of those graphic apps. And here's why. At the end of this month, in May, I wasn't a great graphics queen. I'm still not a great graphics queen. I used to be great at it when I was doing photography full-time, because I had software on my computer that made me be able to fake it pretty good, where I could make beautiful graphics and stuff. Well, now on my phone, I'm like, I start acting like the old woman who needs a teenager to do things for me. Somebody come here and do my, I don't want to be that. So I decided a few weeks ago, just add one of the ones that all of the cool people use. Okay, so I did. And learn how to take someone's picture and lay text across it in a beautiful way that glorifies that person's accomplishments. And I did. I learned how to do it. And it's literally like the expectation of needing to do that a lot shifted something in my business, because it was like I had this expectation that I was about to be congratulating a lot of people on my team. And at the end of this month, do you know how many graphics I made? I lost count, because I had that many people that I was congratulating for their accomplishments this month. So if you don't have a graphics app, do it kind of like a prophetic act. Take a picture of yourself from your phone, make yourself a graphic that has your goal on it for the month, and turn it into your lock screen, or save it somewhere that you can look at it on the regular. get used to using a graphics app, because if you are resistant to all of that, it's super easy, by the way. It's not something that you need a teenage kid to do. But if you are resistant to it, I believe that kind of like mentality, because it's spiritual, stunts your business. That's a simple prophetic act that you can do that shows anticipation of things really rocking and rolling. Maybe that's not the thing you want to do. Maybe you want to pick another prophetic act. Maybe you want to do something else. That's fine. But you need to do something with expectation. Yeah. Okay. See, Graciela is shooting for senior gold by the end of this month. Is that what you're shooting for? So she made herself a graphic. You don't have to be a pro at it. You just need to do it. I was one of those people that preached, don't make graphics in the beginning. I was like, tell your story. And I still stick by that. I think the graphics that are real salesy are a huge turnoff. And that I don't know what's going on right now. Y'all, I had a bunny, 2 bunnies when we went on flag patrol the other day, start doing leapfrog over each other forever. They just started. I was like, I wonder if something is shifting in the atmosphere. The animals don't seem afraid of us. They are not afraid of us right now. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that. Okay, I'm going to read down through the comments. Kittle's never afraid, are you, Kittle? Okay. Yes. Okay. You guys know that Dawn hit Senior Ruby, right? You guys need to look at these graphics, at the graphics that show the chart of how much people make. I'm reading Brandy's comment. Y'all can't see it, but I'm just laughing at that. Okay. Oh, I caught up in here. I caught up really quick. I thought there were lots and lots of comments. Okay, does anybody have a question about what we've covered so far? Don't be an expert. Make a list of people you want to reach out to. That's super important. Keeping that list in the notes portion of your phone. And if you don't have some startup graphics that are like, show what the welcome packs are, the pricing, stuff like that, let me know and I can tag you in where you can grab those graphics, stick them in your Plexus folder in the notes portion of your phone. It took me 3 years and about 5 minutes to get the notes portion of my phone working. And that's because the 3 years was me going, I don't know what that, I don't use that. I don't know. And then 5 minutes into a tutorial from my daughter. And I'm like, oh, shoot, that was easy. And she's like, yeah, and this is how you make folders. And then if you want to put this guest house stuff over here in a folder, and I'm like, ah! And then she's like, and then you can put your Plexus stuff in this folder. Literally the easiest thing I've ever done. And I put it off for 3 years because I thought it was difficult. Are you watching this? She's just staring at me. Okay, so if you need those graphics, if you need to know what's in the welcome packs, if you need to know the product price chart, if you want to understand the power of 3, basically. Also, I would encourage you, somebody write this stuff down. I would encourage you to have the Plexus sharing system. There's a link in YouTube that has the Plexus sharing system that basically just has a handful of good videos that are like 2 or 3 minute videos to do send, share, invite. Also, there's probably a video in there explaining what send, share, invite is, and it's only like a 3 minute. If you do nothing else homework related, go to the YouTube videos in Plexus Worldwide on their channel, and they'll have a tab that's specifically for the Plexus sharing system, and watch. There's probably 5 or 6 3-minute videos. That link to be able to easily find those videos should be stored in the notes of your phone, so that when someone says, how do you make money? Short video. You can send them a graphic of the power of 3, or here's the better answer. If they're not in the group, okay, let me tag you in something. But I don't understand how you make money. Okay, hang on, I'm going to tag you something. Get them in the Beauty Inside and Out group and tag them in this most recent event that I did that talks about the power of 3. Tag them in any of those posts that talk about the income. Show them how to search using hashtags. Say impact your future. use the hashtag impact your future, and the posts that pop up will explain how we make money. This is the season of work smarter, not harder, because honestly, who has the time to work hard right now? Nobody wants an extra job. I'm just telling you right now, if you're looking for people who need a job, it's going to be hard to find people who need a job that want one. Do you understand what I'm saying? Most people who need a job or aren't working probably don't want one. People are not looking for an extra job. They may need the extra income, but they're not looking for extra things to do. We have enough to do as it is. So if you're looking for people who are like, who you think, well, she probably needs a job, you're looking for the wrong kind of people. Now, in this climate, you may have more people looking for jobs than what there were, but hashtag for that particular one was impact your future. Do I have the hashtag wrong? Impact your future, I believe. Type in hashtag impact and it'll start probably trying to show it to you. It's in the Beauty Inside and Out group. Okay, somebody just said they had a squirrel walk under their patio chair today, didn't care that they were there. I'm telling you, something has shifted. We go on flag patrol every day and the animals run from us. Since Sunday, we have had a complete like show off of animals just like, and see like what she's doing right now. Y'all have been on my calls. This door is always open. She never comes over here. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what you're doing. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. You're sitting on my notes. Sorry, sister, you're sitting on my notes. Okay, I'm going to run back down. I'm going to give you a highlight reel. I want you to really focus on getting people in the Beauty Inside and Out group. My goal was to have an event scheduled by this call tonight, and I didn't get it done. I feel like one of the things that I do well is follow the leading of the Spirit, knowing what's the next topic to talk about on an event, and knowing when to schedule it. Timing. I mean, I have been so like, whoa, that was perfect timing on almost every time I schedule an event. It runs smack dab in with an incentive that's coming up or a discount or whatever. Well, right now, and usually I do that literally in prayer. I usually figure out what's the smartest thing to do. Well, right now it's like everything is glowing all around me. All the incentive couldn't be smarter because we have a $9.95 sign up fee and 10% off welcome packs. And if you're signing people up right now and you get 3, you get extra bonuses. If you get 6, you get way more bonuses. It's intense, the amount of money. Had someone who joined and within 2 weeks made like $700 or something like that. It was just like boom, right out of the barrel. And I may be saying the wrong number, but it was really close to that. And I'm saying this person is rank advancing rapidly too. And that means going to be completely changing the future for her family. And it was a matter of, get this person has been around for a long time and just decided. It was a matter of kind of like, it was a spiritual, and it was also, when the spiritual aspect of it lines up with the water is warm, you know what I'm saying? When you jump in, the water is warm and you just take off swimming, it's time to go. So that's really good. Okay. Yes. Somebody put down a list for me. I want to do graphics. I want to do Plexus sharing system, welcome pack graphics, product pricing graphics, Plexus sharing system link, and the new 30-day thing that I posted. That's a 30-day checklist that it's got a calendar. It's got fun stuff to print off. If you're one of those people who likes to keep a notebook, that would be perfect. It's like 4 or 5 pages maybe. Okay. Look, other people experiencing this too. That's awesome. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, high frequency. Y'all ever heard of the Schumann resonance? You can check to see what the frequency of the earth is by looking at the Schumann resonance. Also, feel like there's one last thing, and then I'm going to pray over everybody. And that one last thing is this. Network marketing. There's a quote by Tarl, our actual CEO. If you didn't watch the thing he did yesterday, that would be good to go watch. Also, Genevieve did something that was great today. We were going to watch it tonight, but there's not a link for it yet. So you can go, if you can find it when we are able to post it on the team page. The last, okay, I think Tarl says the last bastion of free enterprise or something like that. The last, does anybody know what I'm talking about, Jetty? I think Jetty has said this before. Do you know the quote I'm talking about? Last, anyway, whatever his, what? I don't know what he said. I'm moving on. What the quote means to me is there aren't many things in this world that have a level playing field. Like, very few. Most things that lead to something amazing as far as opportunities go require you to already have been set up by somebody in your family, or you lucked into a great college degree. Because I will tell you, a college degree does not set everybody up for what we think. Somehow we have been led to believe that college degrees lead to greatness. And the truth is, I do these speaking engagements, and one of the questions I always ask is, raise your hand if you have a college degree. Most of the people in the room raise their hand. The fact that they're at a network marketing event at all tells me something's not right. Like, something about that degree is not fixing what they thought. That's the first kicker. And you would be surprised, people turn around and look in the room. They look like this. They're got their hand in the air. They're like, oh, God, everybody here has degrees? That's weird. Okay, that's the first question I ask. The second question I ask is, if you're still paying on student loans, leave your hand in the air. And like a few hands go down. Most of them stay up. They're still paying on their student loans. And these are people in their 40s, so most of them have been out of college for 20 years or more, and they're still paying on student loans. Then I say, now leave your hand in the air. If I had to reword this because I had people tricking. If your college degree is how you make money, then the hands go down. And I'm like, somebody told me to ask that the first time. Somebody said, ask, how many, how many, Now, is that how you make your money? Is it, do you support your family with your college degree? Now, the first few times I asked it, I was saying, do you use your college degree? And people who are homeschooling moms will be like, well, I have a degree in education. They're not making money with it, though. You understand what I'm saying? Like, does your college degree directly make you money? The majority of the hands in the room will go down. Every single time, every single region that I'm in, it doesn't matter. So if you have pushed your family into a college degree, I am not trying to take anything away. Like, if your daughter just graduated from high school and you're like, and she's finally going to get a college degree, I'm not taking anything away from that. But I am trying to unwash your brain. If you think that everyone around you that has a college degree is making a lot of money because of their college degree, most people are not, and most people are actually in debt because of their college degree. They are losing money to their college degree, not making money. We have a tire plant in this town. Many of the men, if not almost all of the men, have degrees in marketing and business, and they're making tires for a living because they couldn't find a job within their degree that paid better than the tire plant. And they have student loans from it. They're paying off, like, at our 20-year reunion, we had people paying off student loans. Like, they were talking about, they were like, who's paying off student loans? And they were like, me. As people were paying off student loans to the tune of a mortgage payment a month, that much amount, and not using the degree. It's like you owe money to the government for the rest of your life for something you don't use. So my network marketing spiel, like, I don't have to tell that story everywhere for that to be burning in my heart. I don't have to stand up and say, just so you all know, most of you in this room are not using your degrees that you paid for. But it burns in my heart because I know it. It's a fact. I know for a fact that my neighbors, they own a t-shirt store. If they have a degree, they're not using it. I know for a fact that most of my neighbors are not using their degrees to make money. They have probably justified to themselves that in some shape or form or fashion that they needed that degree for something. Because wouldn't you, if you paid for it for the rest of your life, wouldn't you make scholarships are the only answer, y'all. Like, send your kid to college for 4 years and let them grow up for 4 years. I mean, I'm all about that. But praying that they're going to have a degree that it's rare. I'm just going to say it's rare. And if you are an exception to that rule, you are fortunate and blessed, and I hope you love your job on top of that, and I hope it makes you a lot of money. It's rare. Okay, so there are people in this Plexus business who at convention and other events that we have get to walk across the stage as Emerald ambassadors, and they're making the bank at that point, right? Like, a lot of people are making more than school teachers make at the senior gold level, right? And so they're probably making more than the tire plant at Ruby. And they walk across that stage, and I'm like, man, this is a level playing field. Anybody. And the beauty of starting out is anybody and their sister. Anybody and their best friend can do this business. I would do that all. If you watched my journey from the beginning, that part I would do different. I would be like anybody and my sister, anybody and my best friend. Because I'm going to tell you, it's a lot more fun if the people you hang around with also get to do whatever they want to do all day long. Like if you're having to schedule around somebody else's work plans, it's less fun. If you can go to lunch and they can't, then there's no lunch, right? Get your friends involved. Tell them, look, I want you to be part of this group. I want you to hear this girl talk. Tag them in one of my videos. Tag them in one of my posts in the group where I'm talking about the fact. I mean, Christy hung out with me today. Christy Nodine, who's usually on these calls. She came by and we went running around town. I gave her a tour of Ardmore. I took her in the backyard. Her daughter loves animals, so I let her meet the dogs, look at the pool, all that kind of stuff. And she was like, your pictures make this pool look a lot bigger than it really is. And I was like, yeah. And then I realized what she was saying was I expected a lot more of a mansion feel because she's seen an income chart, right? And I think hanging out with me today was probably actually going to make a dent in her ability to move forward in this business because she saw how freaking normal we are. Like, all the normal. Like, look behind me. Can you see this? Do you see the mess? This is just how we live. I work my business from my phone. I don't have to have an office. I'm using a sewing room. I don't sew. I have a sewing room. I got a sewing machine. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't sew. I do make a good mess, though. I can make a good mess. All right. Okay. God, I thank you for your love and your humor. I thank you that you have created us to be humorous beings. I'm grateful for that today. I'm glad to have friends who understand me and all that is. I was grateful to be able to hang out with Christy today and just let her catch me up on her life. God, I thank you for Christy and for her daughter, Megan. I just pray protection over this road trip that they're doing. That's kind of a wild-eyed road trip, right? Like wild-eyed across the country. I don't know what they're doing. They're nuts. I love them. Thank you for them. God, send your angels of protection over them. God, right now, anybody who's on this call who has never set a concrete goal, I'm asking that you would hatch that inside their heart right now. Give them something. It can be like the tiniest, like, I want to make my first Facebook post. I don't know, whatever. It can be like something, or it can be as big as, I want to bring my husband home from the factory. Whatever it is, hatch it for them in a way that they know that was truly inspired by the Holy Spirit. And I'm just gonna kind of let that simmer a little bit, like in your heart, and I want you to get a visual in your mind of what that might look like. Whatever it is that hatches for you, a first goal. And whether you want to take baby steps or whether you want to literally dive in that gorgeous water in Maui, Kona this year, Hawaii, let's say Hawaii, different island. Whether you want to dive in that gorgeous water and you want to go full all the way in and prove something to yourself. Let's be honest. I mean, part of this business is to prove something to yourself. I mean, some of us were born with a fire inside that knows that we weren't created to live in debt, that knows that we weren't created to have health burdens, right? And so prove it to yourself. I spend pretty much every day proving stuff to myself that I already kind of know. It's like my spirit knows something I don't know. God, right now, would you reveal the things to us that we know in our spirit that they are true? I mean, I'm seeing like eggs hatching new ideas. God, I ask for creative strategies in our businesses. I ask for a godly model of how to do this business. Lord, I'm so thankful that there is a business model that's right in front of me that I don't have to stretch the truth in order to get somewhere. Like I can be like, well, the best way to work this out for you is this, this, this. The best way, probably the smartest thing for you to order is this. And I don't have to sit there and think, wait, is that going to benefit me in the right way or whatever? It all benefits everybody. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I don't have to maneuver stuff in my mind. I have been part of things like that and I don't like it. And I'm thankful that this is not like that. I'm thankful that I can just shoot straight with people and that I can just love on people for a living. I'm loving on people for a living because I got out of my shell and decided to try something new. I'm not joking when I say tens of thousands of lives were changed. And yeah, I went through some uphill battles. I wouldn't trade any of it. God, I break off a spirit of lack, a spirit of poverty. I repent for any time I've ever come into agreement with that. God, I do not believe that you created us to live in lack or poverty. I believe that you are hatching inside of us right now creative strategies to overcome that. Holy Spirit anointed strategies. I do not believe that we were created to live in disease. I believe our body hurting in whatever way is its attempt to try to tell you something's wrong. And then you are supposed to go on an inward journey to figure out what's wrong. Ask the Holy Spirit what's wrong. Figure out what it's connected to. It's usually emotion. And to begin to undo it. Follow God's lead. God, we follow your lead in what we do. I thank you that you are weaving hearts together and that you are bringing new people out of their shell. That you are balancing and mending relationships within our lives. I see struggle with sister-in-law struggle or something like that. It kind of looks like that. I see that going on and I see it dissolving and dissipating because you decided to lay it down. It wasn't important. God, I lay it down at your feet tonight. God, may our hearts be truly extended and focused on helping others. I love that aspect of this business, is that by focusing on helping other people, that's how we make money. I mean, it's a beautiful business model. I lift this all up in Jesus' name. Woo. Amen. Making sure I'm not missing a question, and then I'm going to I declare and decree over Graziella right now, no bad reports. Graziella, I am anticipating a beautiful report of, I don't know, nothing there. It's all good. Or whatever it was some sort of tissue this or some sort of that. We do not come into agreement with any dirty word diagnosis, right? And as you walk in the door, I just want you to say, Holy Spirit, walk with me through this. Thank you, Jesus. Is this a routine, or there was a reason you have to go in there?
I did myself a check. I checked myself. When was it? Saturday night, and I found a growth. And then I went to the doctor last Tuesday, and he obviously noticed it because it seems like it's like 2 or 3 centimeters, but it's right here in the very top. So you couldn't be mistaken it by any bone or something, a muscle.
Yeah.
So I went and he confirmed it, and he just told me that since I don't have no pain or anything, he said that probably it's just a growth, but it's nothing, by his opinion, is nothing to worry about. He already kind of gave me that peace of mind. But what he recommended to the mammogram and an ultrasound to see, just, to see what it is, to confirm and just tackle whatever, deal with it, right?
Have you used body cream on it?
No.
Okay. Originally, the body cream was created for that. It was originally breast cream, and it was to keep lymphatic fluid moving. I encourage you to get some on there, and as you're doing whatever, like putting it on there, command it to go, right? Whatever it is, if there's anything that's not supposed to be there, command it to go. Yes, we command it to dissolve right now. I'm agreeing with Missy. We got a lot of people on here creating a prayer 3-chord strand with you right now. Way more than 3 of us, right? I command it to go. It has to go in Jesus' name. So I want to tell you how the body cream works. It actually helps to keep lymphatic fluid flowing. And so sometimes you can get a backed up lymph gland or whatever. Also, caffeine can cause you to have fibroid tissue. That especially like hyped up coffee type caffeine or sodas. So if any of that has come into your recent, if you back off of that and drink a lot of water, lots of times that will go away on its own. So I'm just tossing out there what I know in the physical and in the spiritual. So, okay, well, we're going to close this out tonight. I tried to keep it where it wasn't a really long call and keep it recorded. Now, I'm going to say bye, but then we'll stay on here because I would like to, somebody said, I think it was Becky. Becky said she had something. Okay, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to say goodnight and I'm going to pause it. Good night.